I'm about to begin the next version of this tea cozy, and it's double knit, so it's got 2 layers, and I want to start it provisionally in such a manner that I can perfectly join it when I've knit all the way around the circle. So it's knit from here all the way around to the end, and I want to be able to graft the end back to the beginning in pattern without changing anything. So I'm going to begin with a provisional cast on that will allow me to treat each layer separately when I come to join it. I've worked 2 pieces of what I call waste yarn, and I've just used 2 colours that I'm not going to use at the beginning of my project. And I've actually reused an old piece of waste yarn knitting and added the additional 4 stitches at the end to make this 40 stitches wide, which is what I want for my cast on edge. And the same with the other piece. I'm now going to slip them into double knit format onto my working needle. So holding the 2 needles side by side, I'm going to take what I call my receiving needle. So this is my gauge size needle for the project, and simply take 1 stitch from the front needle, 1 stitch from the back needle, and keep on doing that until I've got both sets of stitches mounted on this circular needle. And I've set my stitches up with the front stitch first on the needle, so that white stitch will become a front layer stitch, and I'm essentially putting the stitches on in pairs. I've got all the stitches on the needle, and this will give me an open edge when I work my double knitting into it, and I will be able to graft one side at a time when I want to join the 2 layers together. I'm ready to start row 1 of the pattern, and row 1 starts here with 15 pairs with the same colour on each side before I get to a colour change. I'm going to choose the colours so they contrast nicely with the waste yarns. So I'm going to put the yellow on this layer and the green for the far layer, and leave a 6-inch tail of both. So I'm going to knit my front layer in yellow, swing both yarns through, purl green, and I'm using unconventional rotation purling here. And I'm going to work 15 pairs into the waste yarn. I double checked on my chart and it's actually 16 pairs. And now we have 5 pairs with colours reversed. So I'm able to set up my pattern right from row 1, and I'll be able to match it perfectly at the far end of the cozy. So to double check, there's the colour change between the 2 green stitches side by side. 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, 4, 1 more pair. And now back to yellow on the front and green on the back. And if we look inside from underneath, you can see that it will separate at that point. Here's the cast on edge after the first short row repeat. So there's the full width, and that's going to be the top of the tea cozy. And that's 1 complete repeat. And now let's have a look at the cast on edge. So on the other side, it's the blue side. And if we look down inside, gives us a great view of the structure of double knitting and how the yarns switch from one side to the other. But you can see now that these two separate cast on edges will allow us to graft the stitches of both sides one at a time, and will simplify the joining of the cosy when we get back to the beginning again.